I told my banker, I said, this is my plan for my environment. I'm going to market in Spanish, and nobody's going to believe it's me speaking in Spanish because when you look at me, that's the shocker. So,
yo quiero
anyway,
ser tu abogado.
yeah,
You're
right.
not that
Yo
guy.
quiero ser tu abogado. Yeah. No te crees. Hey, everybody, this is Charlie Clark. This is When Zay Zay Met, and this is When Zay Zay Met Me. Dame chance, por favor.
¿Qué pasa, cómo está, mi gente? I am Zay Zay, and welcome to When Zay Zay Met. Today, we're meeting with a producer, writer, and actor extraordinaire. His latest film is called Green Ghost and the Masters of the Stone. Show your love, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Charlie Clark. How you doing?
Hey, how's everybody? Hey, everyone.
It's good to see you today.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Let's start from sort of the beginning, right? You grew up in the Rio Grande Valley, no?
Yes, I grew up on the border of Mexico in McAllen, Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley, yeah.
So tell me what it was like for a young Charlie Clark. What was it like growing up in the Rio Grande Valley?
It was interesting growing up in the Rio Grande Valley. I was very fortunate that I had a Mexican nana from Montemorelos, Nuevo León, Mexico. And so I had half my lifetime was sort of like in the gringo household, and the other half of my life was in the Mexican household. So I got to go to her house, and I got to grow up there, and that's where I had the most fun. Like in my house, I couldn't touch anything and puro stress. And when I went to the Mexican household, oh my God, I had so much fun. Tacos de papa con huevo, ven a comer tus tacos. And I was watching Chapulín Colorado y Chavo del Ocho and El Santo,
Claro.
which were sort of inspiration for the Green Ghost, actually. So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I love being able to go to her neighborhood. And then she took me to Mexico, where I was the only gringo over there with my little sister. And we went to the piñatas and the carnes asadas, and with the music and the cake and everything. And I remember those times being so much fun that I really actually implemented that into my business, so that those fond memories I had when I was a kid, I try to make my environment just like that for my Mexican American and Mexican family, which I consider the whole community that takes care of me. Nice.
That's awesome. I mean, I guess it tracks, right? If you grow up in a carnival, maybe that's what you want to give to people, right? If you grew up.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, these were humble things. They weren't like expensive things, Yeah. When you go to a party like that, it's like, ¿quién va a traer el cake? Who's going to bring the cake? Who's going to bring the piñata? Who's going to bring the meat? Yeah. Who's going to bring the charcoal? Everybody brings something, and you get together and they have a great time. But it's humble things. It's not things that are like fancy pants things, but they're fun. So much fun. So I remember having such a great time growing up, like having those fun times with her, that's why those aspects of the culture that I grew up, I understand. Like, I have my Mexican side. It's kind of like, I'm disfrazado like a gringo, but I have like this Mexican side, por dentro como mexicano.
Yeah.
So I love that. I'd rather than being up cold, frío y seco,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a little more fun. And that's why I enjoy this world. And all my businesses are on the Rio Grande River. They're literally on the border of Mexico all the way to El Paso. So
Wow.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it.
That's amazing. And it's great that you've been able to kind of surround yourself with that you've had not only the means, but the wherewithal to surround yourself with those things that you absolutely love. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was actually part of my plan when I went out on my own as an entrepreneur. I told my banker, I said, this is my plan for my environment. I'm going to market in Spanish, and nobody's going to believe it's me speaking in Spanish because when you look at me, that's the shocker. So,
yo quiero ser tu abogado.
Yeah,
You're not that
yo
guy.
quiero ser tu abogado. Yeah. No te crees.
I love it.
Yeah, that's sort of the business plan that got the bank to invest in me. Otherwise, this is not a family business. I started from scratch. And the Mexican and the Spanish community, the Mexican American community and Mexican community backed me up. And my nana was with me on television, and we did most of our stuff. We were the first ones to cater in Spanish and make the environment like a fun environment like what we just talked about. So.
Very cool. Very cool. You know, in reading up on you, one quickly learns that like cars are in your blood, right?
Yes.
But
I come from a car business family.
You come from a car business family.
Mm-hmm.
Cars are in your blood, but you were able to find success on your own terms.
That's exactly right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, I had a tough family situation growing up. And of course, I had the stepmother who wanted the family business for her kids. I was groomed to be the fourth generation. And she had other plans, and I knew that. And I didn't want to fight my dad about it. I didn't want to deal with family politics. So after lots of thought, talking to my mentors, my judo and jiu-jitsu mentors, and it gave me some sound advice. You know, you want to be happy or not. If you want to let them, you know, have you by the short hairs for the rest of your life, or take a chance and get out there and get started on your own. We think you can do it. We're not going to guarantee that, but we know what you've done at your family business, and if you get out there, we think you could go way past what you ever thought you could have dreamed of doing in your family business. Yeah. I would have been under the thumb. So thank God I got that advice. Went to my banker and, por favor, dame chance. So yeah, it's been a crazy ride, but that's how I got out on my own, and then also that's how I created the alter ego of Green Ghost, technically, because I wanted to come up with a way to advertise. I found out that I could buy an ad or a 30-minute segment on Mexican television on Televisa for the same price as I could pay for a 30-second commercial on Gringo TV. So I was like, I could produce something that somebody's going to look at. I'll be in your face. If you're flipping through, the likelihood of you catching me in 30 minutes compared to 30 seconds is a lot greater. And I would showcase my sense of humor and making fun of being a gringo superhero, which is the anti-hero. He's not a hero at all. Yeah. He just fumbles the ball all the time. But it also gave me a chance to really showcase my knowledge of my Spanish and my knowledge of the culture, and in a fun way where I'm making fun of myself. Sure. So that and I got to do that. That's all I could afford. I had to come up with innovative ways to market, because I didn't have the budget. These guys that inherited their dealerships had all this cash. I borrowed everything, so I had to come up with some interesting ways of marketing, and that was one of them.
That's great. Let's touch back a little bit, if you don't mind, on where you got your main advice, right, from your mentors.
Yes.
Basically martial artists, right?
Yes.
Yes. How long have you been into martial arts? Was it a childhood thing that then you grew into as an adult?
When I was introduced the hard way to martial arts as a freshman in high school. I wrestled for Anderson High in Austin, and new kid came into class at the semester, and I said, I want him. And I was going to dominate him, because I had been getting bullied by the seniors. I was wrestling in the 119 weight class, and he was in my weight class. So I wanted to be able to dominate somebody now. They've been dominating me, so I'm going to dominate him, in wrestling. So I said, come on, let's go. And he came out and he bowed to me. I was like, what's he bowing to me? What the heck? And I went up to him, and he flipped me all over the place.
Oh my goodness.
And so I got my coach was like, oh, that's enough, Clark. Let's introduce Eric, the state champion in judo.
Oh my God.
Like, he made me look like a fool. Everybody's like,
oh man.
So after that, he taught me the pin downs. He taught me how to unbalance people. And I ended up swimming, because I was sent to military school through the rest of high school, sophomore through senior year. They did not have a wrestling team. Otherwise, I would have been a collegiate wrestler. I was kind of burned out on swimming, but I stayed with swimming, so I'm on a scholarship in college. Okay. But I was doing swimming and wrestling. But that's how I was introduced to the martial arts. After I graduated from college and came back to work, I started into judo to be my official sport. And then I got into jiu-jitsu. And so I competed in jiu-jitsu, and I have a black belt in judo and a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. But my mentors in judo, one was Clifton A. Norgard, the other one was Carl Geis. They were giving me some really powerful advice because I was really, I was going to their class up in Houston. I was flying up to go to their class.
Oh my.
And they saw me a little bit down in my head, like, what's going on? I was like, well, this is going on with my family business. I don't know what to do. And they were like, well, let's talk about it. So they took an interest in helping me have the confidence to make the decision to walk away from my family business, which was, I can't walk away from this. I'm fourth generation. So what? Are you unhappy? Yes. What do you have the power to do other than complain?
Wow.
I said, well, okay. So what if you don't get a dealership, Charlie? At least you can work for somebody else and be happy. So which is it going to be? You're going to have the golden handcuffs on, or are you going to walk away?
Wow.
I said, okay, all right, I'll walk away. So yeah, it was tough. It was powerful. The message was like, don't let them own you. Don't let them own your soul. Don't sell your soul. And so I walked away with the idea that hopefully I'd get my own place. It took a year and a half of banging down every door I could find. Everybody was laughing at me. Oh, Charlie, come on. You're not going to be able to buy a dealership. Just go back on your hands and knees and beg for your job back. You can't go just get a dealership. It doesn't work that way. You have to inherit it. I said, no, I don't. I have my financing put together. Thanks for your concern, but I got this. Thank you. Are you ready to do a deal or not? So anyway, I was lucky that I found the smallest Nissan dealership pretty much in the country. Two rich guys bought it, and they were just trying out the car business. And they're like, Charlie, we respect what you did. We heard what you did. You walked away, so we'll sell to you. Yeah, we've been messing around with this for a year. We've been losing our butts, so why not? So they did a deal with me, and I had to have a partner. Of course, my bank was like, don't come back to me without a damn stout partner because you don't have jack. And somebody who's already in your business, because I don't know your business, but you better have a lot of money because you don't have anything. Wow. I said, yes, sir. So I got an investor at that time and came to the table with a contract. And said, here you go, sir, my in my briefcase. I kind of touch on that in the movie, actually, in the Gringos.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. How do you think your experience in becoming a successful businessman, how do you think those experiences translated or helped you in Hollywood?
Well, after almost losing my business more than several times. I mean, I've actually gone down to zero many times.
Wow.
And overcoming that fear, so to speak, it's like that fear of falling almost in judo. Like I learned how to fall and get back up and roll with the punches, so to speak, roll with the falls.
Yeah.
Take your falls. Somebody's going to throw you, get back up, start again. You get the throw or you get the fall. Either way, life is like a series of taking these falls in judo, which is why I think most kids should get into judo, actually. But the confidence that I was able to gain after, at first I was, oh my God, I'm going to fail. What if I fail? What if I fall? Every month having to pay those bills to the bank, paying those note payments, so stressful. And after almost losing it all several times, I sort of just didn't have that fear anymore. So when it came time to do a movie, and I started off with a smaller budget, and I didn't know at the time I was going to attract some actual Hollywood real talent. I was going to do it with local actors and just get it out of my system. And then I got Robert Rodriguez's brother on board. I was like, what? You're Robert Rodriguez's brother? I'm like, get out of here, dude. So then he put me in touch with Michael Olmos as the director, and then Edward James Olmos. So with Robert Rodriguez being as connected in Hollywood, and Edward James Olmos with that depth of talent, especially in Latino Hollywood film history, then that got the attention of some of the real actors. I mean, that were named actors. I shouldn't say real. Everybody's a real actor, but just the known named actors, like especially Danny Trejo. When I heard I was going to get Danny Trejo, I was like, are you kidding me? I got Machete?
That's a big get.
That is so cool. It's like, I can't wait to meet that guy. I idolize that guy. So then we got, Kuno Beckett and Renee Victor. And, it's ironically, Renee Victor, of all the credits she's got, she's bien mexicana. She's from San Antonio, and she speaks fluent Spanish and English. And she was actually the voice of the abuela in Coco.
Coco, yeah.
Unbelievable. And so in my slogan in my company is Nana Pau Pau. Si
Nana
tú no
Pau
haces
Pau.
que tú prometas, Nana Pau Pau. You know, so weird that she wasn't hired because of that reason. It just turns out that happened. Isn't that crazy?
That's so good.
And we got, you know, like Bobby Lashley in there from the WWE, Andy Chang, who just finished doing the fight choreography for Shang-Chi. I mean, amongst many other credits.
Yeah.
The Rundown, Scorpion King, Jackie Chan stunt double for 20 years.
So good.
Yeah, so we ended up the action sequences. Oh my
Amazing, amazing action sequence. That's the first thing I said when I walked into the studio today. These fight scenes are ridiculous. Like they are absolute. You know what? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Right? Green Ghost and the Masters of the Stone. Right? This is the new one. It's about to come out. First, are you getting the butterflies yet, or you're just cool as a cucumber?
I feel cool. I feel like emotion. I'm getting more and more emotional the closer it gets to coming out. Like I feel like I almost get teary-eyed. Like it's been such a journey, and it's so representative of my real life. It's got a lot of my real life in it. It's making me realize that you know, it was so hard to get this done, and now that it's here. And I pushed as hard as I could to get as close to the top Latino stars in the film as I could get. Yeah. I pushed as hard as I could to get the top songs as I could. You know, like Eye of the Tiger in Spanish now. Robert, we can do it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then, you know, Gasolina and 6 a.m. by Fits and Tantrums. So I got some real songs in there, you know.
Good soundtrack.
Did them, yes. So it was really tough to get it, though. They didn't want to give them to me, you know.
Really?
It took. Oh yeah, because I'm a little guy. I mean, come on, we're just an independent film, but because of the names attached and having the Rodriguez and the almost names, you know, sort of in there, they're like, oh, okay, we'll pay a little more attention to you. We'll pay more attention to the gringo.
Exactly. So good. So you mentioned it, and that is obviously, as I'm reading about you and as I'm watching the film, I'm like, wait a minute, like there's a lot of what I'm reading is his true life. This is also, you know, I mean, even the character's named Charlie, right? So how much of it is real? And how much of it, I mean, do you know something we don't know? Like, are the aliens are real? Like, what's happening?
I'm going to tell you something. I know, I am going to tell you. I know a little something on the alien side. I'm not going to get into it. No, I'm just telling you, I'm sorry. I can't. My publicist would shoot me in the face. But but I have a UFO scientist buddy, and I have been doing investigations down in Chile. And yes, we've got really awesome stuff. We're doing a documentary later.
Come on. You got to keep me posted.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, I think that there's something actually quite mystical and mysterious that happened at Teotihuacan. Mm-hmm. So the mythology behind the whole movie happens around Teotihuacan,
right?
And the unexcavated part of Teotihuacan. So that's why I want this mythology can go in all sorts of directions after this film. It's really cool.
Sure.
Really cool. So I'm glad you caught that.
I even caught the Marvelesque post-credit sequence of you guys. As soon as you watch this, don't go anywhere. Number one, you're gonna love the credits because it's nothing but pictures of Mr. Clark and his Nana. But stick around. When it's all said and done, there's I don't know. I don't know what. It left me a little confused, but it also left me like, maybe something else is gonna happen.
Yes, something else is gonna happen. So I'm glad you caught that.
Of course. So there is a lot of, like you said, your real life in there. Were you able to use a lot of like the people in your life in this movie, especially at the dealership scenes and stuff like that?
I used a lot of the people in my dealership, absolutely, because I do play myself in the film. So you'll see Charlie Clark Nissan's in there. I'm Charlie Clark, struggling car dealer, which I was struggling gacho.
Yeah.
You know, and so when I was going through that hell, you know, it was just like, wow. So I used a lot of I got to include my team members, which they loved, you know, and I wish I could have included Nana. She just had gotten to an age where she couldn't do it. But she was in my original show. My actual Mexican nanny was in my Gringos Mexican show, playing our magical Mary Poppins type
I love it.
Nana. So the movie's dedicated to her. and then in a broader sense, also dedicated to sort of like my Mexican American family that has supported me through all this, who bought cars from me, who supported me throughout the years. It's dedicated to all of them, because without them, man, I wouldn't have been anything, bro. Nothing. They helped me a lot, and they've been taking care of me since I was born, starting with Nana, you know what I mean? And then after that, going up, knocking on doors in her neighborhood. Hola, ¿ustedes tienen tortillas de harina para mí, por favor? Tú no puedes pedir tortillas.
Those are my favorite too.
I'm not gonna, she goes, no te voy a dar tus shorts. Si no me importa, yo me voy a mis calzones. I would go to my calzones, and I would knock on the door and ask for tortillas. No, Charlie, tú no puedes hacer eso. Nana pau pau.
Little Charlie going house to house asking for tortillas. That's bananas.
I did. That is so definitely inspired by her and dedicated to her. Like you said, that's what the whole ending sequence is about.
It's so cool because I mean, obviously, you know, you said she was a little older now. Is she still with us, BT Dubs?
She's 99 years
99.
old.
That was the last picture. That was the last picture, yeah.
20th, yeah, on the December 26th, she turned 99.
Oh my gosh. Has she seen it yet?
No, because what I'm trying to do is she was going through a period where she was, you know, not that lucente, you know, not that conscious, but she's now at a point where she, you know, I've been trying to jog her memory more and more and more. And so once I'm taking her to the green carpet down here on Thursday, and I want her to see everybody. She can't be out that long, but I'm going to have her out for a bit, and I'm going to go watch the movie with her on TV. She's not able to be in the theater. She has to be in bed. I'll watch it with her.
I love it. That's going to be so wonderful for her. Is Nana, you think, the person in your life you want to make the most proud?
I would say so. Like I tell all my people, I said, guys, you realize, you know, at first I put her in the commercials because they didn't believe it was my Spanish. People, the Mexican people thought, nah, me estás engañando, no puede ser que tú hables español así. You know, so I was like, no me creen? And I was like, wow, okay, here's the reason. Es la razón. You know, so when I said, here's the reason I speak Spanish, they're like, oh, esto es algo real. And that's when I came up with the way for her to show authority over me. Like, thought of it on the spot as they were putting on makeup. We're going to shoot our first commercial, 1999. And I said, yeah, si tú no haces que tú prometas, Nana Pau Pau. So that whole Nana Pau Pau just stuck like crazy. And she only came up to my shoulder, you know, so or to half of my, not even to my shoulder, half my bicep. And she was looking up at me like, Nana Pau Pau. It was hilarious. So, yeah, I mean, I would say that, guys, she told me when I went out on my own, she said, Charlie, olvídate de los gringos, de tu familia del country club, todos esos que se creen grandes, olvídate de ellos. Puedes depender, confiar en mi gente, ellos te van a cuidar. So she basically was telling me that her peeps would take care of me, and sure enough, they have, and I've catered to them ever since, and I've made my whole culture about that. And I've told everybody here, the way you're treating this person, would it make Nana proud? And then me. After that, me. But number one, Nana. So yes, I would say she's the one I would want to make most proud, to do the right thing by our people, by our customer base, by my team members.
You know what? I see what she saw in you, and I think you're a stand-up guy, and
thank you very much.
And I'm happy to have you as part of the culture, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Okay, do me a favor, 30 seconds. Sell me this movie. Why do I need to go see Green Ghost?
Okay, because Gringo started as as a concept where it was just going to be a local film, right? It was going to be a local movie, just filmed right here at home. But it ended up growing into something more. It still is an independent film, but it was filmed right here in Texas, dedicated to my nana, dedicated to my extended family. I'm the adopted Gringo into the Mexican family. I hope that's how I feel anyway. And the action, the talent we have behind this, Danny Trejo and Andy Chang, all the talent that we have tied to this now, it grew into something else. And the action sequences is about family. The action is unbelievable. So, I mean, and the cinematography is great too. So it looks big. It looks really good. I think you're going to love it.
That's wonderful. Real quick also, I'm Dominican and you had two of us in the movie, right?
Oye, tú eres dominicano.
Yo soy dominicano.
Mi hijo es dominicano.
Oh, sí.
Mi hijo es dominicano. No, pero mi hijo es dominicano. Pero mi hijo es dominicano.
Oh, that's awesome.
Él vive en la República Dominicana.
Oh.
I just saw him in Miami.
Okay.
And he's wonderful. I just got him into judo. He's 9 years old. So I just got him into judo. So yes, I have a Dominican son. Nice. I mean, he's American, but his mom is Dominican and he lives in the Dominican Republic. He's an American citizen, but I love him to death and he's a wonderful young man. So how cool, you're Dominican.
Yeah, I'm Dominican. I'm Dominican. And I saw that you had a couple of us.
That's right.
A couple of baseball.
So I have a very multicultural, like I have about 600 employees and I only have about 4 gringos. Other than that, it's mainly Mexican, Dominican, Venezuelan, and the Dominican baseball players that came over here that finished up with their contracts, they were looking to make some decent money. And so they came on board with me. I love them to death. And I love them to death. My Dominican family, man, I love them.
Ah, qué bien.
And my son Chris is dedicado a mi hijo también, Chris. Christopher Adrian Clark.
Ay, qué bien. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you being on our show.
Really great meeting you, man.
Great meeting you too, man. And I wish you nothing but success and happiness, not only for this film, but in your entire life, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you all so much for watching When Zay Zay Met. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified when we upload more conversations with celebrities and other interesting people. Now, if you'd like to see your favorite celebrity on the show, it's simple. Just tell us who that is by leaving us a comment down below. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Hasta la próxima. Lo quiero del corazón.